What I want to do today is, as quickly as possible, get to see Jock this afternoon before the prison closes.
Dr. Simon Palfreeman has just got into the Bulgarian capital, Sofia. It's taken 2 days to get here from Australia, and this is his 7th trip. His son is locked up in this notoriously overcrowded and run-down prison.
It's quite intimidating being in here. Every time I come here, all I can think of is Jock is still in there. Will we ever get some resolution to this? Will we ever get him out of there? Hello, mister. Hello. How you going?
22-year-old Jock Palfreeman has been in the Sofia Central Prison almost 1.5 years. If he's convicted, he could be here most of his life. The young Australian is charged with murder and attempted murder.
Most of the times I feel I wish it was me who had died on that street.
One night, lives were altered and ended in a matter of moments. Since then, a protracted battle has developed over precisely what happened.
Listen,
I'll talk about it.
Comrade Tony's getting a bit pissed off now, so I think we all got to leave. I'll see you soon.
In his trips to see his son and muster a defence, Simon Palfreeman has grown suspicious of a very different justice system.
See, all my life I've believed in the system, and I think in Australia, I think you more or less can do that. And here I'm for the first time faced with a system that I don't have confidence in.
This is where the fate of Jock Palfreeman will be decided. It's known as the Palace of Justice here in the Bulgarian capital, Sofia. This is where notions of just what is a fair trial are being tested. For the family of a law student killed just round the corner there, a fair trial will mean Jock Palfreeman is put away for life. For the Palfreemans, it means that he'll be seen as having acted in self-defence and is anything but a murderer.
The story begins just after Christmas in 2007, when Jock Palfreeman was holidaying in the Bulgarian countryside with friends from the UK. One of the group was leaving, and they decided to have a night out on the town to farewell her. Were you as a group out to cause trouble that night?
Not at all, no. We were just out to have a laugh, like 3 friends having a laugh, basically, and that was it.
Jock Palfreeman says the Bulgarian capital is a violent place where he's had trouble before. So he took a knife with him.
I don't know why, I just had a bad feeling about Sofia. There's something about the stress of Sofia that always, there's always problems here that I've found in Sofia.
They all ended up in a downtown club, leaving around 1 in the morning. Among them was Lindsay Welsh.
As we were walking down the road, there's a group of men that emerged from the subway, making a lot of noise. I think they were shouting.
They were football fans, fueled up on alcohol.
Maybe 20, even more, maybe 25. And they were all singing and chanting. And people were walking past them and they were pushing them.
Jock Palfreeman and his friends had been drinking too. They were frightened by the commotion and crouched behind bushes. He says he saw the gang beating up 2 gypsies. When he went in to help, one gypsy got away, but the gang continued their attack on the other one.
As I looked up, what I remember seeing is Jock running and these guys running towards Jock.
And then all the group came and surrounded me in a circle.
Jock Palfreeman says he pulled out the knife to keep the attackers away. The gang then started hurling cement blocks at the Australian, who was calling out for help.
I was constantly turning in a circle, and every time one would come to me, I would lunge at them with a knife in a swiping movement to scare them. All I remember is being hit on the head and falling down. The last thing I remember is, right, shit, I'm gone. This is it, I'm finished.
I tried to grab Jock's arm, and as I did so, one of the guys turned around and kicked me in the stomach, so I flew back on the floor.
After the brawl, one of the football fans lay injured and another lay dying. He was 20-year-old law student Andre Monov. Lindsay Welsh left the scene terrified, not knowing that anyone had died or that police had charged her friend with murder. She flew to England the next day as planned. When she found out what happened, she rang British and Bulgarian authorities.
The Bulgarian embassy didn't seem interested at all, so I left my details with all of these people. And also I spoke to someone from Interpol at a later date that made me sign a form saying that I'd be willing to actually go and give a statement saying what I'd witnessed that night. But after that, I hadn't heard from anybody at all.
The failure of police to interview potential defence witnesses is only one of the concerns Dr. Palfreeman has with the Bulgarian judicial process. Tonight, he's come to the street where it all happened.
In looking at all the evidence, I'm absolutely convinced that it all started with this group of young men accosting these two Roma boys quite viciously and violently, and the tragedy then unfolded from that moment.
Dr. Palfreeman believes the official investigation has been inadequate from the start.
There is a security camera here, which was pointing down to the subway, which is exactly where the boy was being beaten.
But police didn't get the CCTV camera footage that might have shown what made Jock Palfreeman jump into the fray. When the defence pushed for it, police said a freak blackout wrecked its hard drive. And the original witness statements from the football fans on the night bear little resemblance to what they're saying in court now. They're even denying there were gypsies present.
There were independent witnesses across the road that actually saw the boy being on the ground, being chased, put on the ground and severely beaten.
Сега останалите новини от деня. Повече от 200 души дойдоха на погребението на 20-годишният Andre Monov, синът на известния психолог Христо Монов.
The dead man's father is well known in Bulgaria. Among the mourners were judges, politicians and police. Right from the start, parts of the Bulgarian media painted Jock Palfreeman, who had just joined the British Army, as a trained killer.
Според обясненията му, той не съжалявал за случая и не се чувствал виновен.
Are you guilty? Why did you kill the boy?
The Australian watched as even the judge refusing him bail cried and called him a hooligan.
It's said that you pulled knives on other people in Bulgaria 6 times, one news report said. Is that true?
No, I was attacked and they pulled knives on me 6 times. That was probably a mistranslation or a misunderstanding in court from my first bail hearing where I said that.
But did you ever pull a knife out on anybody else?
No.
The court-appointed psychologist says Jock Palfreeman is not violent by nature, but rather is driven by a concern for others. It's a view shared by Jock Palfreeman's friends and family.
I don't know if I should have even gone there in the first place now, but these are the type of situations where if you don't go, you know, and they kill these guys, everyone then says, well, hang on, why did nobody go to help him?
Bulgaria is still desperately poor. And gypsies are often the target of racial abuse. They're one of Bulgaria's ethnic minorities, often cast as petty thieves. Jock Palfreeman's father and stepmother are leaving Sofia and travelling into the countryside where the young man lived for 8 months after leaving school.
I think that Jock is a little bit naive because he's a really good guy and he's thinking that everybody are like that. He thinks that everybody would help anybody, and it's not like that.
Sonja Nicolova came to know Jock Palfreeman well. She's one of his many friends in Samakov.
Is that a Bulgarian word? Magnifico.
Dr. Palfreeman has discovered that his son had a whole other family here.
И Джок си беше като мое дете. По телевизията, като го покарат към дела, кога има, и тук го гледам и почна да плача.
It's perhaps not surprising that these people are some of his strongest supporters.
Ето го, ето го, ето го.
Jock.
Да, ето го Джок.
Spencer. One of the special things about Jock is that he even in prison, he helps the other people.
Ема той за това, защото да спаси оня, е станало това.
Simon Palfreeman has also discovered he's not alone in his suspicion of the Bulgarian justice system.
Господ съди, той раздава правосъдие, най-добрия съдия, а не ние, дето съда се купва с пари и корупцията в България я познават в цел свет как е.
But one thing the Bulgarian friends don't share is Jock Palfreeman's support for gypsies.
In Bulgaria, we are racist, most of us. I'm saying us because even I don't like gypsies. And he wasn't like that. He was saying that everybody's the same. We are all the same.
There's an undercurrent of violence and racial hatred here. At football matches like this, the catch cry is Bulgaria for Bulgarians. Andre Monov's death has been taken up as a nationalist cause, and the anniversary saw football fans on the streets. The banner they carry says, "Nothing is forgotten, nothing is forgiven." Andre Monov's father is grateful for their concern.
Те не искат да прощат на злото и те не искат злото да почерня живота им. Казах да не я снимате без снимане.
In court, Dr. Christo Monov and the prosecutor are blocking original witness accounts that support the defendant's version of events. Why don't you want the original witness statements used in court?
Не е въпросът, че не желая да бъдат прочетени. Аз съм счела, че това, което съответният свидетел е казал в съдебното следствие, за мен е достатъчно за изясняване на цялостната фактическа обстановка.
But some witnesses are now changing key elements of their stories in court. Others just aren't turning up at all. Jock Palfreeman's supporters suspect they've been intimidated both by the ultra-nationalist mood and the high standing of the victim's father. Dr. Monov doesn't want to talk to us.
It's a verboten on Bulgarian constitution to fort me.
I don't have to imagine situations where witnesses are harassed and pressured to change their statements, because it happens all the time.
Dr. Evgenii Dainov is a social scientist who's taken an interest in the Palfreeman case, which could be a test of the Bulgarian justice system.
I would expect the father of the victim to put pressure on the entire structure of the law enforcement and judicial system. I would expect the judicial system to collapse under that pressure.
Bulgaria is under serious pressure to get its house in order. It joined the European Union just 2 years ago, but it's struggling to meet the membership commitments. The EU is withholding $2 billion in development funding until the former communist country cleans up corruption in its justice system.
Under normal circumstances, you can get justice in this country. Unfortunately, if at any stage anyone puts any pressure on any link in the chain, it seems you are not able to get justice in this country. So the rule of law does not apply, because the law is different for different people. So this is a completely unsatisfactory situation, and Bulgaria is being rightly criticized.
But the prosecutor, Pavoleta Nicolova, rejects such claims.
Съжалявам, но не мога да приема такова схващане, че е упражнен в която и да е част от развитието на наказателния процес натиск под каквато и да е форма, върху който и да е от свидетелите. Считам, че следва да се наложи едно от най-тежките наказания, предвидени в нашия наказателен кодекс за това деяние.
Voilà, tu vas? Merci.
Simon Palfreeman knows that his son relies on getting food brought into the prison, which provides next to nothing. He's come to the prison armed with more supplies from Australia and is relieved when they get through security.
Hello, matey. How you going? Hey, we don't even have the thing.
I know, it's amazing.
How you going? Oh yeah, don't get to do that very often.
No.
This is the first time in more than a year that father and son have been allowed to be so close.
The point is, in fact, I felt the same way, because I felt with the Monovs, I felt, I've still got you, even though...
Debatably.
Well, I can still come here and see you, but I just think.
I mean, at the end,
they haven't. But
Jock Palfreeman says he's haunted by the death of Andre Monov.
I'd lie on the bed and my heart would beat and it would echo back into the pillow, and I would just think about Andre Monov's heart stopping and trying to pump. I don't know. It's just very difficult for me to but you get the picture. And so now I can't sleep on my stomach, I have to sleep on my back.
After months of excruciating delays, it's finally time for Jock Palfreeman's next hearing. And his father and stepmother are battling Sofia's P-car on their way to court.
I'm always worried to see how Jock will be, how his morning's gone before he gets into court.
Many of their son's Bulgarian friends have come. The courtroom is overflowing with law students who are here to watch. It's chaotic. Everyone's there. except the people who should be. One witness after another fails to appear. The last hearing day was aborted when one of the judges failed to turn up. It happens again today. If it happens once more, the whole trial will have to start over.
This is the second one now that they've had to cancel. It's just outrageous. We don't know whether we're going to get true justice from this system. And as each day goes past, that feeling of dread that we're not going to get there, that we're not going to get the truth out, is getting greater and greater.
"18 months on, Lindsay Welsh has finally been contacted, but her statement hasn't yet been presented in court.
I catch the plane out tonight and won't see Jock again for 3 months, and just knowing that I have to leave him in the prison is really hard, and particularly in this circumstance where the trial was postponed, we're no further ahead with the trial, we've got key witnesses missing. It's hard to leave Jock in that situation. And here's the prison.
Dr. Palfreeman fears for his son's survival in this tough prison, and this colours their last moments together.
Listen, mate. Up here, mate. Just hang in there.
When I look at Simon now, I can just see the sadness in leaving Jock in prison and not being really able to do anything more for him until the next court date.
Yes, he is impetuous and so on, but the more and more I'm with him and see him handling this situation, the more proud I am of him, and the more he's actually giving me some strength and courage to continue on as well, because having really got to the bottom of most of the story of what happened, I think he is a remarkable young man and someone who needs to be fought over and to be got out of this situation. He's someone worth fighting for. So that's what keeps bringing us back. Next time.